Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with the Beth Israel Rabbi. This coming Shabbat, we read Parshat Nitzavim. Moshe is coming towards the end of his life, and he is presenting one last devar, one last speech to his people, to us, the Jewish people, before he passes away. And he tells the people that we have a choice. We can choose blessing or curse. We can choose life or death. The rabbis understand this in a myriad of different ways. But one of the ways that we understand this is literally that by choosing blessings and mitzvot, that we choose life, and by choosing curses, and by choosing the opposite of mitzvot, we choose death. Now we know, of course, that life and death are a natural aspect of being human, that all of us die. And so that is why Sforno explains that actually this means that by choosing mitzvot and blessings, we are choosing the life not only in this world, but in the world to come. But this, of course, is also just one aspect of an interpretation of this particular parsha. Another way of seeing this is that we as human beings, and specifically as Jews, are to choose life whenever possible. That we are to pekuach nefesh, that we are to save a life over even Shabbat. But what about when making difficult decisions, as we, the Jewish people, have had to do in recent days, in recent months and years, unfortunately, with the current situation in Israel, with the choosing of who may survive and who might not survive when hostages have been taken. In fact, it just so happens that this past week, in the daily reading and the daily study of Talmud, known as Daf Yomi, the Jewish people are currently in a section of the Talmud known as Harayot. And there, this past Sunday, in the Talmud, it says what comes before what in many different ways. And then it literally teaches who shall be saved when they're a hostage first, and who comes second. For example, the Talmud suggests that a woman should be saved before a man for many different reasons. These are difficult decisions that Israel and the Jewish people have unfortunately had to make over thousands of years. And we all prayed that these decisions would be over finally, that we would never again need to make a decision as we have had to make, as the government of Israel has had to make. But unfortunately, we find ourselves in this situation again. We pray that as we are about to not only celebrate this Shabbat of Shabbat Nitzavim, but Rosh Hashanah this coming week, this coming new year of 5786, that it will be a good new year in which we will finally be done with this horrible war, in which we will be in a state of peace, and in which we will never again as a Jewish people have to make these terrible and difficult decisions. Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tovah.